radiation from the directed energy weapons that the GRU are firing at me is beginning to completely destroy me. Indeed, it's driving me insane, and physically, all the time, I feel absolutely horrible. And it seems that the radiation levels are going up. Indeed, seems like they've entered a new phase of the psychotronic torture of me. It's quite interesting that I'm monitored by Russian intelligence in some way for 24 hours a day. Indeed, I believe that there are Russian satellites above Warminster and Russian military intelligence operatives tracking my movements in the streets every day also. Indeed, they also watch me through the webcam on my laptop. And yeah, so it's all a very interesting situation. Indeed, I'm not exactly sure what it was I did that brought Russian military intelligence into every aspect of my life, basically. Indeed, it may have been the fact that they picked me up in a Belgrade mental hospital in 2013 and psychologically tortured me and basically brainwashed me to carry out some sort of long range penetration operation in the United Kingdom. However, I never went along with the program, which is why they kept picking me up in the street and taking me to black sites over the years across Wiltshire and attempting to reprogram me to go along with the agenda. The problem is, I'm not exactly sure what the agenda I was meant to be carrying out was. Indeed, I have a feeling that I was basically meant to become a propagandist for Russian military intelligence, but my theories did not add up to what Russian military intelligence wished for me to promote. Indeed, Russian military intelligence want to push a pro-Palestine angle, and due to various reasons, I cannot go along with that. Indeed, Russian military intelligence are creating a false conflict whereby they are setting themselves against the Rothschild family and various networks associated with the Rothschild family. Indeed, this is a false conflict. Indeed, the Putin regime is very close to various Rothschild bankers, basically. Indeed, the French Rothschilds have a connection to the Putin regime, as do the British Rothschilds. So it's all very interesting, considering indeed the Sabbatean networks are highly operative in the Russian Federation. Indeed, Abad Lubavitch also are a key component of the Russian mafia syndicates. So it's all interlinking indeed. However, the GRU would like to promote a pro-Palestinian agenda and an anti-Zionist philosophy, which is all part of a dialectic being created by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks, operating for the insinuating brethren of the Illuminati who are controlling this whole facade. It's very interesting. I believe that the GRU wanted me to join the national anarchist movement on a permanent basis and interconnect with such networks as Palestine Action as part of the wider GRU agenda to basically utilize a Soviet long-range penetration strategy in the United Kingdom, whereby the Faith of Ishmael would be in the ascendancy. And this would result in several organized crime functions, and the GRU wish for the Faith of Ishmael adherents to commit mass rapes of white Anglo girls. And I had a problem with this, and therefore the GRU began to target me rather than constantly reprogramming me as they had been for several years. So it's all quite interesting to consider. Indeed, as I've stated, Russian military intelligence monitor my every movement. They monitor my every movement in public and monitor every click on my PC. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Russian government seem to think I'm a foreign spy for an unknown agency, which is very interesting. The Russian government do not believe that I am a British citizen. They believe that I am a foreign spy operating on British soil, but they do not know which agency I work for. I am not going to reveal anything in that regard. The Russian government does not believe that I am William Field, born and brought up in Wiltshire. I don't believe this either. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider that the thing about it all is that I am a lunatic, but the Russian government believes I am a foreign spy for an unknown power. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Russian military intelligence services will not leave me alone. Indeed, there is a constant bombardment of microwave radiation being emitted into my room. So I'm basically being heated up from the inside out all day with microwave weaponry, coordinated by pro-Soviet defense intelligence operatives. So pro-Soviet connected British military intelligence operatives operating out of Porton Down laboratories and Warminster military base are operating the psychotronic warfare weapons against me. So although it is a GRU operation, it is actually British military intelligence operatives who are coordinating the use of radiation weaponry on me. So there's various factions of defense intelligence and MI5 who are pro-Soviet in their views, who are attempting to basically cause me to have a crisis and go crazy and eventually walk out into the street and start screaming something, whereby the psychocracy can take me off the streets and potentially take me to Porton Down, which is quite worrying indeed. There is an agenda to take me to Porton Down, whereby I will be incarcerated in the black chambers beneath Porton Down laboratories and probably used for some sort of experimentation. Indeed, the British security services wish to shut me down because they are worried about certain exposures I have done on Wiltshire Police and the organ trade, what with the British security services being heavily connected to the Freemasonic networks that run the organ trade in Wiltshire, that this is all an overarching GRU operation due to the Warminster area and devices apparently having been coordinated by the GRU since the 1950s with the organ trade. Indeed, local elements connected to the Communist Party basically organised through the Freemasonic lodges the GRU's takeover of Wiltshire to begin the mass organ trade, which interconnects back up to the Russian Federation in the modern world, which is a continuation of the Soviet Union, and the majority of the organs harvested in Wiltshire, and indeed the entire United Kingdom, are sold on the black market in the Russian Federation, which is all very interesting to consider indeed. I am probably approaching a rather interesting time because the GRU have been putting out false information about me in the locality, and thereby, by increasing this hostility, they want me to commit suicide. Indeed, as I've stated, the Russian government believe I am an agent of a foreign power, but they don't know which power it is. Indeed, they seem to be having trouble realizing that I am merely just a lunatic. In fact, it's quite complimentary that the Russian government believe that I am an agent of a foreign power. And it's all very interesting to consider that they are able to operate the way they are on British soil, which means that British soil is actually coordinated by Moscow, and that the British government is actually a puppet government of Moscow, which is something I have theorized on before. It does seem that the British government is merely a puppet government of Moscow, and here in Warminster we are actually living in the Soviet Union. Now that's quite mind-bending, really quite mind-bending, to realize that we are actually on Soviet soil here. So this is what we must consider. Who am I an operative for? As far as I'm concerned, I am an operative for the lunatics of the British mental health system in rebellion against the Soviet psychopolitical agenda, at the same time attempting to expose the mass organ harvesting nest within Wiltshire butchers' shops that directly interconnects to the Soviet psychopolitical power. Indeed, it is very interesting to consider that the KGB is known as the organs. The KGB is known as the organs for a reason. The KGB run the organ trade, and they run it, interestingly, out of percentages of Warminster, interestingly. Indeed, the butcher shop in Warminster, the C.J. Robbins Butcher Shop, is a key interlinking network with the organ trade, interconnecting with the Masonic lodges of Wyvern Lodge and Longleat Lodge. Indeed, these Masonic lodges were infiltrated by the GRU and the KGB in the 1950s and have since become a part of the organs. Indeed, much of this penetration was done by Ordo Templi Orientis initiates, coordinated by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst Continuum networks. Indeed, it seems that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst themselves have higher percentages of power in the United States than the United Kingdom, whereas the United Kingdom seems to be an appendage of the GRU KGB continuum. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider that the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, KGB, and the GRU are all networks of Illuminists. This is all an overarching Illuminati project that interconnects with local Nazi party members and local Communist Party members being in an alignment, and there being a false conflict between Nazism and communism. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider this scenario. Indeed, it's very interesting that it would appear that my videos have no views on them, but I am monitored by the entire Soviet Russian intelligence structure and the majority of the British intelligence structure, as well as the Israeli intelligence structure. Indeed, as I have history in the past of anti-Semitism, I am monitored closely by the Mossad. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I believe there is a Mossad link to organ trafficking in Wiltshire through their interconnecting networks with the KGB and the GRU. Indeed, many operatives of the KGB and GRU are themselves of Hebrew heritage, being Sabbatai and Dommek cultists. And these networks also interconnect with such British far-right movements as Restore Britain. Indeed, Rupert Lowe's networks have a large Sabbatean contingent to them. And indeed, Rupert Lowe's networks are operative in Warminster and are involved in this attempt with Defence Intelligence, the British military intelligence arm, to destroy me. So basically, I'm in a bit of a crazy position because I'm being irradiated by British military intelligence operatives who are operating for the GRU, British military intelligence operatives who are operating for the Soviet Russian military intelligence services. So It's all quite interesting indeed. The Russian government wishes to kill me, I believe, for revealing things about the organs. However, I don't know if this is going to be possible due to my popularity with young ladies. So I do not know if this is going to be possible at all. Indeed, I am a marked man by the Russian government. Indeed, the British government only wants to kill me because the Russian government are telling them to want to kill me. But it is the Russian government that wish to kill me. However, many of the population of Warminster think that I am operative for the Russian government, but I am not, most certainly not, working for the Russian government. Indeed, the Russian government have squarely painted a target on my back, and through their connections within British military intelligence, i.e. the defence intelligence establishment, they are irradiating me and attempting to force me either to go crazy in the streets so that I am incarcerated, most probably in Porton Down, or to kill me. It's very interesting. We appear to have entered an endgame scenario for me now. And indeed, I am on the run from the Russian military intelligence services. And due to my craziness, there are levels of things that are going on which could help me out. Indeed, it's all very strange. Indeed, the Russian government is truly a terrible enterprise. And as I've stated, the KGB is known as the organs for a reason. And this is because they set up the organ traffic throughout Europe. In the 1930s, interestingly, the KGB set up the organ trafficking routes throughout Europe in the 1930s, coordinated by Felix Jasinski's networks, i.e. the networks of the original Cheka. Indeed, the Cheka, after its formation, recruited all sorts of rapists, sadists, murderers, and thugs. Indeed, this is reflective of the Russian intelligence services today. They are networks of rapists, sadists, murderers, and thugs, coordinating organ traffic across Europe and handling such networks as the Albanian mafia, who are terrible human beings and are basically hill tribesmen who are themselves operating their own organ trafficking rings, interconnecting with the rings that the KGB set up in the 1930s. And indeed, these networks directly link to Wiltshire police, interestingly. The Wiltshire police don't exactly understand what's going on. So it's all very interesting. Wiltshire police are not the top of the chain. Indeed, the KGB, the GRU, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, the Russian and Albanian mafias are operating these rings set up in the 1930s throughout Europe. Indeed, as I've stated, there is a reason that the KGB is called the organs. And us mental hospital people have knowledge about these things which scares the Russian intelligence services. So it's all very interesting indeed. The more I have continued this video, the more the beams have begun to affect me, and I'm starting to really break down in my body and mind. But I'm going to continue with this ongoing exposure of the Russian military intelligence services. And I'm also going to rework a previous theory I had on the Sergei Skripal case. Indeed, that's for another day though. So it's all a very interesting scenario of intrigue, espionage, betrayal of trust, dramatics, and the activities of an outright lunatic. Indeed, I am going to leave it there.